Hello, and welcome to the first ever online or virtual art exhibit presented to you by the ArtReach Gallery at Lovers Lane United Methodist Church. We're featuring the work of William Keith in a show titled One Can Help the Other. My name is Paul Ditto, and I'm the Executive Director of the Lovers Lane Foundation. The foundation exists for one reason, and one reason only, and that is to serve our church, its ministries, and its members. The foundation consists of more than 40 separate endowments, each benefiting a specific aspect of the church or its ministries, including youth programs, young adult activities, music ministries, Austin's Army, facility maintenance and repairs, several lecture series, numerous scholarships, deaf ministries, benevolence. Well, I could go on, but the important thing here is one of those endowments is our Visual Arts Endowment, which underwrites the full cost of our ArtReach Gallery in Watson Hall here at Lovers Lane. We have a great group of volunteers here at LLUMC that serve on our Visual Arts Committee, and they arrange for different art exhibits to show in our ArtReach Gallery, usually on a 60-day rotation, which often includes a Meet the Artist reception for our congregation and others. Now, as we all know, we're living in a different world since the COVID-19 pandemic came into our lives. As a result, we're adapting to this new normal. As I mentioned earlier, our current exhibit titled One Can Help the Other features the artwork of William Keith. Because of circumstances brought on by the coronavirus, hardly anyone has seen this exhibit, which is a shame because it's a spectacular display of very colorful tablet weavings and mixed media weavings. Although the exhibit will be up until November 19th, we want to share the exhibit with you virtually as well. The inspiration for the name of this exhibit, One Can Help the Other, is Ecclesiastes 4 verse 10, which reads, "If either of them falls down, one can help up the other. But pity the one who falls and has no one to help him up." The artist, William Keith, tells us that even though an artist works independently of others, once the art of creativity has been completed, the artist depends greatly on people to help them up. People willing to believe in the artist, people willing to show the art, to hang the work on the walls, to create invitations, to write press releases, take documentary photographs, and possibly buy the art. And in this case, to help the artist and the art by showing the exhibit virtually or online. The completion of the artist's expression cannot be accomplished without many other people helping them up. This exhibit is awesome, and I'd love to tell you more about it. But instead, let's turn our attention to the actual artwork and some words from the artist himself. Here is the work of William Keith and William Keith himself to tell you about this exhibit, what inspires him, and a little bit about himself. I'll come back later with some closing thoughts and information about how to purchase one of these pieces. But for now, here's William.
My name is William Keith. I'm originally from Mississippi, and that's where the accent comes from. Everybody talks about, well, where's that accent coming from? And it's coming from Mississippi. But I've been living in Texas all my adult life. I met my wife in Houston. She and I produced an art magazine there, and eventually we moved to Savannah, Georgia to get my master's degree so I could begin teaching. We moved to Moorhead, Kentucky for my first teaching job, and then we needed to move back to Texas. We didn't want to be gone from Texas too long. So we decided to move to San Antonio, where my wife worked as a nurse, and I started working at Palo Alto College, and now I'm a full-time instructor at Northwest Vista College. My wife now teaches there too. She retired from nursing and went back to college, got her master's degree, and now is an instructor there as well. I've been teaching for 26 years, live in Bandera County, right outside of San Antonio, and I attend Hill Country Chapel in Pipe Creek, Texas. I have two kinds of artwork in this show. The first are what I call small tablet pieces. Those were the first pieces I started doing about 12 years ago. I started sewing these little pieces on a loom about this big, just sewing, well, weaving, not sewing, but weaving, not necessarily knowing where they would end up. I would finish one, put it aside, start another. It was almost compulsive behavior on my part to weave and weave and weave. I did these for years, not quite knowing what eventually I would do with them, but I decided I was going to let God decide that. So eventually he said, put these on tablets. Now I have no idea whether that had anything to do with Moses or not, but I put them on wooden tablets just to give them a backing, something to hold them up so that the viewer could put them on the wall and see them. They're meant to be individual pieces by themselves, but I arrange them very often in exhibition in groups, anywhere from 1 piece to 15 pieces combined, like 3 rows of 5 or 4 rows of 2 or something along those lines. That gives them a little bit more of a dramatic look. So they're meant as a single piece, but I let the viewer decide how they want to bring them into their house. Now the other kind of artwork that's in this show is what I call just mixed media weaving. It's a weaving about the same size, but it's on a little bit more of an elaborate frame, and underneath it is various mixed media. There could be some ceramic tiles, wood, painted wood, glass beads, metal, a whole bunch of little bitty pieces that I purposely put in there to arrange just like I arrange the imagery on the weavings. Once again, those objects are not necessarily meant to mean anything. They're simply meant as visual stimulus. So a row of tiles, there's 7 tiles in a row. What does the 7 tiles mean? It means 7 tiles look more attractive than 6 tiles, is what it means. Right first, after having done these small tablet weavings, everybody that I know said, why don't you make something bigger? Why don't you make something bigger? Well, I did give it some consideration and decided that it was not really kind of who I am to make large pieces. I admire artists who do work large, but it's just not me. I like to be very comfortable when I work, and the working in that size, which is about like that, is my comfort zone. So I did take their advice under consideration though. So when I made the slightly larger pieces, which are only about this big as opposed to this big, that was to increase quite frankly, the visual stimulus that one sees when they look at my work. It was just a little bit of an extra added bonus, and it actually gave me a lot of pleasure to do it too. Because what that meant is I could walk down the street and see something interesting lying on the ground, pick it up, and say, this would look good in one of my pieces. So it was a never-ending opportunity to search for textures and shapes and sizes and things like that.
Thank you, William. And to all of you viewing the art exhibit here today virtually, I hope you've enjoyed this. All of the artwork is for sale. Each piece of work was displayed in the virtual art exhibit you just saw, and each had the price listed below its picture, along with the approximate dimensions of the artwork. This same information is on our website at foundation.llumc.org/William Keith. The only additional cost is sales tax and shipping costs if you're not able to pick it up at the conclusion of the actual exhibit. The exhibit is scheduled to come down on November 19th. All purchased pieces would need to stay up until then. You will need to pick up your purchased piece on that day, November 19th, not sooner, or arrange with me some alternative arrangement if you cannot be there that day. If it needs to be shipped, we can make those arrangements and we'll let you know what the additional cost for shipping is. If you have a chance, come by the church and see the artwork in person in our Watson Hall at Lovers Lane Methodist at 9200 Inwood Road. The Lovers Lane Foundation is honored to underwrite all the costs of our ArtReach Gallery. If you'd like more information about the Lovers Lane Foundation or the ArtReach Gallery or our Visual Arts Committee, or to purchase one of William's weavings, all that information is on our website at foundation.llumc.org/William Keith. Thank you again for being part of this virtual tour of our One Can Help the Other exhibit, featuring artwork by William Keith. If I can provide you with any additional information about the foundation, the ArtReach Gallery, or William Keith's artwork and exhibit, just give me a call or drop me an email or just come by the church. I'm in my office there almost every day. We will slowly run back through some of the informational graphics in case you want to make note of any of the information. But if all else fails, just call the church and ask for me, Paul Ditto, and we'll take it from there. And mark your calendars for November 19th when we hang our next exhibit, our Advent exhibit. We hope to see you between now and then. Thanks, good day, and God bless. Here come some of those informational graphics again, and we'll leave the last one up with the purchase information a little longer at the very end. Thanks.